Fast break, girl. Throw it down. Oh, you know I will. Bam! Ugh, I hate her. That bitch thinks she's all of that. I go hard in the paint. Damn. Uh-oh, triple double. Hey, girl, give me that ball. Quit stat padding. Karen, shoot the J. Watch out. Ow. Hey, you just hit my teammate. Look, I know you're gonna miss, but I'm gonna foul you anyway. Ah! You messed up my weave. Hold up. I'm gonna beat your ass. I've been waiting to fight you. Whoa. Calm down, Sharkeisha. Don't pull out the 9. She gonna put her hands on me and think she can get away with it. I'm pressing charges. Hey, bitch, we can fight. Flagrant foul on Caitlin's been upgraded to domestic violence, penalty prison. Oh my God, what did I do? What did I do?
All right, let's begin. But before I start, I want to give a big shout out to DJ Michi Me. That video you saw was actually his, and I thought it was good. He gave it, even though he's lived over it. I thought that he the video itself gives an explanation of what's going on between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. But this video is really about rgIII and Ryan Clark. Now, I don't understand. I get confused every day with this. rgIII does a comment about Angel Reese. And he has the right to do that because when you're in that public eye, people will judge you. People will say certain things about you. We're all going to get it. You know, you're in the eyes of the public. They're going to say something about you. Whether you like it or not, it's going to happen. Look at the media. Trump takes it every day. But he made a comment and he's using whatever facts he has to feel that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark. And me personally, I think it's all clickbait. I think that they're doing it because they need more attention into the WNBA. So, you know, Caitlin Clark is a star. Angel Reese was the bad guy. Caitlin Clark is the angel. And so they want to use this whole big war thing. And I think they're taking it all the way to the bank. Me personally, that's what I think. I think this has nothing to do with race. Maybe Angel Reese might have a certain feeling because now all of a sudden black women, and once again this is getting tiring. Maybe she might have some feelings. I don't think Caitlin Clark has feelings like that towards her because of her skin color. I think this is all about the game and this is all about money. However, rgIII made his comments and he has the right to say what he says. We can disagree, we can agree. But Ryan Clark then comes in. He's given his points. He should have just stayed with rgIII. But then he threw in the wife and so forth, and he's saying these little comments about not having talks about black women problems. And let me tell you something: black women are not going through anything. If black women are going through something, it's because they did it to themselves. Black women are privileged. Shoes. They're the breadwinners. They are making more money than black men. Black men are one of the poorest in America. There's more black men in the prison system, high school dropout. These are facts. So black women are doing well. And when you look at the WNBA, black women in the WNBA, I mean, they're not making the kind of money that the NBA players are making, but rightfully so is because NBA, they got more advertisement, more crowd. People tend to go to the NBA compared to the WNBA. But now things are starting to pick up with the WNBA. And these girls are hoping to cash in. So I don't get why every time there's something between a woman who's white and another woman who's black people have to make this the biggest issue of them all. Why can't it just be these two girls playing? If they like each other or not, that's all good. But let them play. Let them play. Angel Reese took it a bit too far with that little check that she took. That foul, that flagrant foul, it happens all the time. It happens all the time. Thomas from the Connecticut Sun that damn near took Angel Reese's head off. However, Angel Reese got up and she kept playing. So Angel Reese getting that, crazy about Caitlin Clark made no sense. But then once again, I think it's because it's money. It's that getting more viewership. That's going to be the talk, which I'm talking about it now, and everybody else has been talking about it. So these guys need to, especially black men, they need to stop feeding into this. Let these girls play and let them do what they have to do. Because now you're making this into a race thing, and it's not even race. Yeah, you guys are just going. And Ryan Clark just took it too far. I feel. He can have his opinions about rgIII. They used to play together and so forth, and it seemed like no love lost there or anything. However, it's getting out of control. It is getting out of control, and it's clear that Ryan Clark do not like rgIII, and rgIII do not like Ryan Clark. So let's go into what rgIII said, and then you tell me what you think, okay? Let me pull up this video so you guys can see it.
So where was this type of reaction last year when Angel Reese got chokeslammed by Alyssa Thomas of the Connecticut Sun? Y'all remember that? She got fouled so hard, they kicked Aaliyah Thomas out the game with a flagrant 2 foul. What did Angel Reese do? Nothing. She didn't get up and try to swing on her. You know why? The reaction was different because of who did it. And there is a lot of history there with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. You guys remember last year when Angel Reese celebrated Kennedy Carter getting that flagrant foul on the hip check against Caitlin Clark? You remember that? On the sideline, just, yeah, baby, get her, you get her. Who celebrates like that for a flagrant foul on another player if they don't dislike that player? Okay, you want some more evidence? Here's some more evidence. Remember last year when they were talking about who gets the credit for the expansion and the eyeballs and the popularity boost of women's basketball? Not just the WNBA, but women's basketball in general, because of the spike in the women's NCAA tournament and WNBA viewership. A lot of people were attributing that to Caitlin Clark, and rightfully so. This is what Angel Reese had to say, and I quote, "People are talking about women's basketball. You never would think they'd be talking about women's basketball. People are pulling up to the games. We got celebrities coming to the games, sold out arenas, just because of one single game. Just looking at that, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on to be that for my teammates. I know I'll go down in history. I'll look back in 20 years and be like, the reason we're watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too. I want y'all to realize that." Now, I heard a lot of people say that I or others have made Angel Reese the villain. Did you not just hear herself call herself the bad guy? She called herself the villain. I'm not making her the villain. She's making herself the villain.
So I listened to the video, and I see his wife in the background. I don't care less if his wife is in the background. It's his show. He could have the whole family back there for all I care. It's his show. And if he's going to talk about certain things, he has that right. Okay? I don't think he knows about if Angel Reese really hates Caitlin Clark. That's his opinion. Now, we can do our own thing. We can create our own little video or so forth, and we can now critique rgIII's opinion about the situation. But when you start bringing in family, you're not going to go talk about the wife, and he's a black man, his mother's black. You don't know what kind of conversations rgIII is having. Ryan Clark said he's not going home having those type of conversations because his wife is white. I think that was an ignorant comment to say, because you're not with rgIII 24/7. You are at your house. And the other sad part is that Ryan Clark was with a white woman and has a baby with a white woman. So, you know, you found that white woman to be attractive to have a baby, but now you're into this pro-black black attitude, and now, you know, RG3 can't be black because he's with a white woman, and that's all he chooses is white women. So I found it really troubling. You guys need to listen to what Ryan Clark said after RG3 made that comment, and I'm surprised that Ryan Clark even went in that, because it didn't make no big deal to me. This was RG3's feelings. But listen to what Ryan Clark had to say, and I'm going to try to keep it as quick as possible, because I know these videos drag on and y'all be like, man, I can't take that. But I'm going to be as quick as possible with this, because, yeah, this was a little troubling.
RG3 called what Angel Reese did hate. He said you could see the hate on her face for Caitlin Clark. I'm not really sure when we moved in to being able to read the expressions of a person and know their intent, know their character, know their perspective. But he does understand hate, because I think he also understands the hate of self. When you look at the play, which is all we can speak to as professionals, all we can speak to as analysts, Angel Reese pushed one of her teammates. Caitlin Clark had a hard foul, which is part of basketball. I feel like it was assessed correctly. And Angel Reese's reaction is the sort of reaction you get in a situation when you feel like you took an intentionally hard foul. That's competitiveness. That's rivalry. That's not hate. And so now, though, when RG3 jumps on to the hate train or to the angry train, and now follows along with what we saw from Keith Olbermann, what we saw from Dave Portnoy, as they poured on to Angel Reese to make her the villain in Caitlin Clark's heroic or hero story.
Right.
The one thing we know about RG3 is he's not having conversations at his home about what Black women have to endure in this country, about what young Black women and athletes like Angel Reese have had to deal with being on the opposite side of Caitlin Clark's rise and ascension into stardom. Now, when you look at it, I think A'ja Wilson is the face of the league. A'ja Wilson is the best player in the league. Caitlin Clark is the most important player in the WNBA. And a ton of her fandom has come along with some racial bias or some racial pieces to why people love her so much. And so now, if you're RG3, when is the last time within your household you've had a conversation about what she's dealing with? You haven't been able to do that because in both of your marriages, you've been married to white women. You haven't had opportunities to have those conversations to educate you on what they're feeling, what Black women deal with, what they're seeing when they think of a young Angel Reese. And the whole time that he's mimicking Angel Reese and bobbing his head and moving his neck while he's doing this whole piece, his wife is in the back amening and clapping. And so to me, it's just another situation that now this young lady has to deal with. When I worked with RG3, he would make all of these sort of corny jokes about milk and how much he loved it and how important it was. And he always points out on social media the color of his wife's skin, as if the color of her skin is what makes her special, as if the color of her skin is what makes her a good wife. I've met the lady, I've had a conversation with her.
Right.
I think she's more than that. But it also leads to what Black women deal with a lot from Black men who have chose to date or marry outside of their race. They always feel like they have to go the extra mile to prop up the woman that they're married or the woman that they're with over Black women by denigrating Black women.
Now you heard that. I think he was 100% wrong when he included the white woman, but to say that Black men who date or marry white women tend to degrade Black women, because men like me, who I've dated Black women, I've dated white women, I've dated Hispanic women. I mean, but I know who I am. I know I'm a Black man. I just don't live my life like playing victim. Oh, woe is me. I'm Black and I can't do anything. I don't play the victim. I try to be the victor. And so when Ryan Clark says these things, I think, number one, I think he's doing black women a disservice. And number two, he really needs to get off of this black women going through whatever, because they're not. They are not. Those women that's in the WNBA are not struggling, okay? They are living their best life. They're doing what they want to do. And just because Caitlin Clark is one woman in a whole bunch of black women. There's other white women there, but the league is predominantly black, okay? And the best player in the WNBA is not Caitlin Clark. So let's get that straight. And Caitlin Clark just has that attitude that, everybody, and it's not just white people that adore her or really like her. Black people turn on that TV or watch the WNBA just to see if she's going to keep up that status, that image that she had when she was playing in college. So it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous what Ryan Clark said, especially when he included white women and then black men with white women, like as he know, and degrading them when he himself was with a white woman, had a baby with a white woman. So I think he's doing black women a disservice, and he's doing his baby mama a disservice because he's basically degrading her. Because he's basically putting down white women because he's saying, they shouldn't be in this because as if black women are the best thing since sliced bread. And they're just women. White women, black women, they're all women. They're the same. Men, I'm a black man. There's white men, there's Asian men. We're all men. We all bleed the same color. This really needs to stop. This is getting ridiculous. Listen to what rgIII had to say after this. I got that video here and I want to play that for you guys because I think you can tell he took this really serious. Like it really bothered him, and he had to say something. So listen to what he had to say.
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy rgIII, and I just wanted to get on here and talk to you guys because there's been a lot of buzz, a lot of conversations about my sports take that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark, which was purely based in basketball. But I think all of you know there's a line in life that you just simply don't cross. Wives and children are always off limits, and Ryan Clark has sprinted past that line. Ryan Clark didn't like my sports take that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark. And that's fine. It's okay. It's part of the game. Sports media, I'm going to have an opinion. This person might not agree with it. That person might not agree with it. But what you don't do is turn around and personally attack me and my family. He suggested that I don't value my own wife, the one that I'm building a family with, the one that I protect, the one that I love and cherish, but that I only value her because her skin is white. That is so wrong and way out of bounds. Mark implied that he, a man that has never sat down at our dinner table, he implied that he knows my wife and values my wife and knows my marriage better than I know my own marriage. That is so wrong. He claimed that I'm not having conversations in my own home about the struggles that black women have faced in this country because my wife is white. That's so wrong and way out of bounds, man. Not to mention that we also raise black daughters. That I have a black mom, two black sisters, black aunties, black cousins, a black niece. That makes zero sense. You can disagree with me all you want. Challenge my takes, but keep my family and my wife out of it. That's a boundary that should always be respected, man. always. Ryan Clark personally attacking me and my family. Personally, because he disagreed with my sports opinion, is a bad look for him as a man. I hope you get the help you need, brother.
Now you heard that. So you could tell, and he even edited that little video that I played for you guys. He even edited because you can tell he had to probably take a break because he was getting very emotional. You know, when he brought up his aunties and his sisters, and he said he's raising 2 black girls. You can tell it bothered him, and I don't blame him. You know, like I said, critique him on his take on the Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese fiasco. But don't go in there now and say he don't have these conversations. You don't know what he's talking about. You don't live there. So Ryan Clark was totally wrong. Ryan Clark could have his opinion about RG3. He don't have to like him. He could hate his guts. But when when he crossed that line and brought in the wife and then talked about the whiteness and all that stuff, I think he's doing a disservice to black women and white women because his baby mama is white. And, I guess we're supposed to overlook that. But the black women, they're not like in the streets, like being kicked down and so forth. They are privileged, especially in the WNBA. They are doing what they love. And hopefully the advertisement can come in more, the seats could fill up, and they can start making the money that they feel they deserve. And that league can grow so that they can have, a much bigger league and bigger drafts and big playoffs. We want to see that. The league's been around for a while and they're still there. And we want to make sure that they do succeed. And I don't care who's playing a team, white women, black women, I don't care. Asian, Hispanic, let them play and stop throwing race into this, because that just now takes the game into a whole different direction. And then people are going to start not wanting to even see it because they're going to start getting tired of everything has to do with race. Racism this, racism that. Please remember what I say. This is not a racist country. It's just a lot of people that's still obsessed with race. And we're allowing the race hustlers to dictate or to dictate the narrative on how we should feel. It's sad. It is the saddest thing I've ever had to live in and had to witness. Enough is enough. We really need to stop this. I think that Ryan Clark, because he wrote he wrote on Twitter and basically bashing RG3. I think the way RG3, and this is my personal feeling, I think the way RG3 handled it, I think he handled it very well. Because like he said, critique him. And he's right, critique him. If you feel he's wrong, critique him. That's what it's all about. We get into doing these videos and we get to talk because this is like, I have my beliefs, my perspective. People that review this has the right to put their opinions and say, I've had people who call me coons and all that stuff on one of my videos. I didn't care. I addressed it by, telling them why I became a Trump supporter. The reason why I became a Trump supporter. And, and I left it at that. I'm not going to tear the place down and all the racism and I'm oppressed and I'm a victim. I'm not a victim. Okay, I'm not a victim. Are there racist people out there? Oh yeah, and there's white, there's black, there's Asians, East Indians from India. If they can be very racist at times, Hispanics can be very racist. They have them, but the amount of those racist people does not dictate the way America is today. we are not a racist country, and we really need to look to accept that. Now, I'm going to play a couple more videos of this Marc Lamont Hill. He just don't know when to quit. Everything with him is about race. He's very closed-minded, and he's really smart. This guy is very smart, unless he's debating what's it, Candace Owens. She be mopping the floor with him. However, this guy really can irk my nerves, because for somebody this intelligent, this smart, and was a professor, he's really closed his mind on life itself, and the only thing he can see is, woe is me, black people this, black people that. But he won't address all the problems that black people are going through. Not reading at grade level, high school dropout, prison population, black men being one of the poorest in America. I mean, these are real issues, homicide, like address real issues so that blacks in America can start lifting themselves up. Because I stated, by 2065, Asian Americans will be 14% in population, while blacks will still be at 13. We're staying stagnant, and it'll probably be dropped. I'm not sure. I just saw that it was going to be 13%. Now that's serious, and they need to really, really get on the ball and stop with the race hustling and the woe is me. Stop listening to Al Sharpton and the Roland Martins, because these guys are sitting there. Roland Martin and Al Sharpton sitting down, living their best life. They don't live in the hood. They don't live in the black community. Al Sharpton and Roland Martin live in a very gated community. White people, their neighbors, and they're fine. I don't see them going into the hood and saying hello. Even Maxine Waters, she is a representative for the hood, but when she leaves, she goes somewhere else. She's not sticking around. So stop falling for it. Please stop falling for it. So I want to play these videos by Marc Lamont Hill. I just want you to hear it, and you can see my frustration, okay? Because I get frustrated with this guy.
About this. First, I think that there's a way that rgIII absolutely is reaching too far in his criticism or assessment of Angel Reese. Angel Reese, I don't know if she hates Caitlin Clark or not. I don't think she does. But even if she did, we don't have the evidence to support it. So I think rgIII is overreaching there. I think, again, by making it sound like she's just obsessed with it, makes Caitlin Clark the center of attention. It makes Caitlin Clark the object of desire. It makes Angel Reese the jealous, irrational, bitter black woman. It plays into all these tropes. And like he said, you're over there snapping your neck, rolling your eyes, sort of mimicking Angel Reese in ways that play into stereotypes. All of it is a problem.
So that's Marc Lamont Hill. And what he's basically doing is saying, okay, which I said the same thing. You don't know if she really hates Caitlin Clark, because I think this is all about making money, and so that's why you see all of this on TV. It's to get people like, yeah, it's on, and more viewers can watch WNBA. But then he throws in about, you're snapping the neck and you're making Caitlin Clark seem more desirable. I don't think so. I mean, he's sitting there with his wife, and the wife is silent. She ain't saying nothing, I just think he is critiquing the game, and he was just showing what she was doing and so forth. So I don't think he was doing it with bad intentions. I truly think that this was blown out of proportion. Could he have done it different? When I say different, like about the hating Caitlin Clark, he could have kept that one out because he don't really know. But then neither does Ryan Clark know what rgIII talks about when they're home. And Ryan Clark did apologize. He put out an apology especially to his wife. However, it still doesn't doesn't excuse the fact that Ryan Clark truly do not like RG3, and I feel it's vice versa. But going back to Marc Lamont Hill, this is a guy that screams about the N-word, hatred, yet he uses it, you know. And then he used the word Uncle Tom. Like, come on now. First of all, if you actually want to know the truth, Uncle Tom was the hero. So for him using it on this guy on Piers Morgan's show, Mr. Gaines, he's really praising him. So check out the video. You'll see.
I don't want to live in a country where you can say an inappropriate, rude thing, which, by the way, black people can say things to white people all the time and they never get canceled. There's no backlashing about this. I want to live in a country where people are allowed to say what they want unashamedly, and you will
well, go
not
on then,
have
say
free,
it. Say
you
the
will
M.
not have
Go on,
free
go on. Say the M word. Go on.
I'm
Hang
not
on.
Don't invite. No.
No.
I don't want you to invite this woman to say a racially harmful term in front of me, because I'm the only on here. So if she says it, I'm the victim of it. So please don't invite her for ratings to call me the N-word, because that's basically what it's going to be. There's a bunch of white people up here, you and one Uncle Tom on the left here, and to ask her to say the N-word while I'm here is ridiculous. You would not sit here with a Jewish person and say, please use a Jewish slur in front of this Jewish. It's ridiculous. I understand you don't have any bad intent, Piers. I understand what you're trying to do, but we already know she's
Marc,
racist,
I hear you.
and I don't want to invite
Marc,
a racial harm to me.
I hear you.
That's going to do it for me today. Please remember, like, subscribe, and share this video. I'll be back with more content. Please email me, leave a message at the bottom. Let me know what we could talk about, and we'll take it from there. All right, guys. Enjoy your this Memorial Day weekend. Peace.